Jay-Z here on April 11th, 2013 for another edition of Flashpoint Radio. On tonight's program, we've got some stories about the Second Amendment, and namely the assaults on your Second Amendment from Washington, D.C. and here locally in the state of Missouri. Remember, share this information. It is important information. It is vital that you share this with your friends and family. There's no way we win this battle. There's no way we win the war against tyranny, the war against lies, if we don't at least let our friends and family know where we stand. So if you agree with this stuff, if you believe things are moving in the wrong direction in this country, then share this. Share InfoWars, share anything independent in this country that questions the status quo. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it through email, share it at work, share it at church, share it at school, share it at the dinner table. Just share it. Stand for truth or stand aside. We cannot be spectators on the sideline anymore. Do something small, insignificant. You may think it's insignificant, but I tell you what, even the smallest steps lead to giant leaps forward. But before we get to Second Amendment news, because it can't all be depressing news about tyranny and radiation poisoning, we've got this article about a study out of France, and it turns out that those hippies in the 1960s may have been on to something. Bras make breasts saggier, 15-year French study reveals. Women have long been told that a good bra can help support the chest, relieve back pain, and prevent sagging. However, a new 15-year French study reveals the opposite. Bras do little to reduce back pain, and over time, they can actually make breasts sag even more. Just giving you information, that's all we do here at Flashpoint Radio. You do what you will with it. Moving right along to some more serious news from the Hill. IRS, we can read emails without warrant. The Internal Revenue Service has claimed that agents do not need warrants to read people's emails, text messages, and other private electronic communications, according to internal agency documents. The ACLU obtained the documents, which in a 2009 handbook, the IRS said that the Fourth Amendment does not protect emails because internet users do not have a reasonable expectation of privacy in such communications. That's what you get when the government and DARPA creates the internet, and they have a finger in every honeypot that controls the internet from that day forward. If you think you have privacy while you're surfing the web, think again. It's not a human being that's watching your every move online. It's a computer algorithm in Utah, and your tax dollars built that NSA spy center. You can just look it up. Moving along to the core of this episode of Flashpoint Radio, and that is the debate on Capitol Hill about our Second Amendment rights. From ABC News, senators crack impasse on gun background check. Senators Joe Manchin and Pat Toomey announced a bipartisan compromise today seeking to expand background checks for the sale of guns, both at gun shows and online, that could help break the impasse in the gun control debate in Congress. And the best part about this whole story, the best part about this debate, is the name of this bill. The name of this bill is the Public Safety and Second Amendment Rights Protection Act. So, they name a bill, the Second Amendment Rights Protection Act, that actually infringes on your Second Amendment rights. You see how our government does things? 2 + 2 = 5. Up is down, black is white. It doesn't matter. They are lying to you over and over and over and over. And if you think the NRA is going to save you, watch out. Guaranteed they'll compromise on this one. And if you think it's not going anywhere and that it's dead in the water, from FoxNews.com, gun bill clears Senate hurdle as filibuster falls short. 16 Republicans joined Senate Democrats to overcome a filibuster and move this bill forward. You might want to find out if one of your senators was one of those 16 and do everything in your power to get them out of office. Things are looking pretty bad in Washington, D.C. The Republicans are starting to sound an awful lot like Democrats, and that's not a new thing. They all sound like fascists or socialists, or at least people that don't believe American citizens can take care of themselves. There are not too many good people in Washington, D.C. Senator Mike Lee may be one of them, Republican out of Utah, though. Senator Lee, background checks could allow holder to create gun registry using regulations. Do you think so? You don't think this back door was put in there? You don't think this was a slow creep towards gun confiscation? That's their goal. They will not stop until they take every gun from every American. I guarantee it. And they've got, well, the full support of the media as well, if you didn't already know that. From Breitbart.com, pro-gun control senator to CNN anchor, we appreciate your support. Joe Manchin was on Starting Point with anchors John Berman and Christine Roman, and he said, we appreciate your support too. This is very, very important. So yes, our independent media, the fourth house of the government, the fourth check on the government, is in the bag. If you didn't already know. Fox Nation, Biden, MSNBC host deserves award. Now, I always like playing Joe Biden clips, but I'm going to leave the video out of this, but the link is below if you want to watch him actually say it. But he thinks that Joe Scarborough and Michael Bloomberg, New York City mayor, deserve awards for changing the debate on gun control, for doing what Eric Holder said back when he was Assistant Attorney General, and really just brainwashing the American public to think differently about guns in America. And finally, moving on to the Show Me State, because it is my state, because the states created the federal government, and therefore I am a Missourian before I am an American. From the Columbia Daily Tribune, Highway Patrol gave feds Missouri weapon permits data. List was sent 2 times. Missouri's database of concealed weapons permits was twice given to federal authorities investigating Social Security disability fraud in a move that has enraged lawmakers already angry over potential abuses in a new driver's license system. Missouri State Highway Patrol Colonel Ron Replogle was questioned for nearly an hour this morning by the Senate Appropriations Committee after he revealed to Chairman Kurt Schaefer yesterday that his agency had turned over the data. So yes, the Missouri Highway Patrol, those people that we pay with our tax dollars to protect our rights, peace officers, servants, public servants who were supposed to work for us, now work for Big Sis. They goose step whenever the federal government tells them to do anything. Why? Because the federal government gives them a bunch of new toys to use against the state's citizens. You can no longer trust uniformed people in this country. I want you to remember that in Germany, in Hitler's Germany, it was people in uniform that shoved people onto trains. It is not the civilians. Yeah, there were civilians that were turncoats. There were people that turned people in. But when it came down to it, yeah, it was the uniformed people, the people that were in uniform before Hitler took power, that turned guns on their own citizens. So you better check yourself, police, army, military, highway patrol, and find out, ask yourself, where do you stand? Who are you with? The people that will instantly turn on you when you have overused or when you have gone past your usefulness, or with the citizens who will actually protect you while they're protecting themselves. An armed population is a safe population. And on that point, I want to announce this Saturday, 10 a.m., at Highway I-64, Highway 40, and Mason Road in Town and Country at the Highway Patrol Troop C, I guess it's a substation. I will be there with my signs, protesting the Highway Patrol and voicing to them that they no longer have my respect, that I no longer respect their authority, and that they no longer work for us. They work for the federal government now, and as far as I'm concerned, they have committed treason against the citizens of Missouri. If they do not believe that our privacy is something worth protecting, then guess what? We will no longer cover your butts when you overstep your bounds. We will no longer give you the benefit of the doubt because you have a badge. You no longer are the noble policemen that kept this nation safe for so long. You are now just pawns of the New World Order. You are now working against the citizenry of this country and of this state. And we will no longer give you any more chances to get it right. You don't get to make any more mistakes. We pay you, and we're going to find a way to get rid of you. So, 10 o'clock this Saturday, April 13th, Highway 40 and Mason Road. Join me if you are in St. Louis. I'll be there for a few hours, just holding up some signs and hopefully getting some honks from some passersby. And basically, just getting in the face of these people that feel they have no one watching over them, that there is no one checking their authority. Because guess what? There are a ton more of us, and we have a ton more guns than you have. And and we do not want to use them against you. We would much rather have you on our side when things collapse, because we are going to need trained professionals with respect and with honor. And if you still have that, then speak out against your bosses that have turncoated and that have committed treasonous acts against the citizens of Missouri. So join me this Saturday, please. And finally, I want to leave you with this picture that I found downtown at the Downtown Hilton by the St. Louis Busch Stadium ballpark. This picture on screen shows 4 old-timer St. Louis Cardinals players in the dugout during a baseball game, pointing their bats out of the dugout like rifles. What would happen if the current crop of St. Louis Cardinals were to aim these at the Chicago Cubs in a weekend series in July? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they may be suspended and possibly barred or banned from the league. This is how things have changed. Man, I would love to go back to the days when you could actually carry a water gun to school, when you could actually talk about playing cops and robbers, and you didn't get suspended for taking a Hello Kitty bubble gun to school. But that's the country we live in. We allowed it to happen to ourselves. We have to stop being naive and force our friends and family and those around us to wake up. So spread this information, people. Come back and see me next time, and I hope to see some of you this Saturday. Jay-Z signing off for Flashpoint Radio, saying God bless and keep your eyes to the sky.